Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do the May 1st spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well. It's good to be together, isn't it? Let's spend this little time, reset our focus for the day. May 1st, service as an expression of love and gratitude. Service changes our relationship to our own lives. We learn to put love and gratitude into action. And when we mobilize our good feelings, they have a way of spreading through all our affairs. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 7, Being of Service. The basic text tells us that we can only keep what we have by giving it away. That's as true for us as individuals as it is for NA as a whole. When we share our experience with new members, we're reminded where we came from and exactly how far we've come. We don't need loads of clean time to start reaping the benefits of service. One member recalled, "My sponsor taught me to carry a pen to every meeting so that I could give my phone number to newcomers." I asked, "But aren't I still a newcomer?" And was reminded that I had 30 more days than the person that just walked in the door. Reflecting on service in early recovery, another member shared, "I was making more than just coffee. I was making friends and beginning to feel a part of my home group." We gain a sense of belonging as we give of ourselves. It feels good and we want more. We put love and gratitude into action as we serve. We focus on carrying the message and let the other details in life, in meetings, in our heads sort themselves out in their own time. A shared commitment to service helps us to hear each other and to choose to believe that we're all doing our best. We love and therefore serve NA even when we disagree about the best way to go about it. We contribute to the lively and loving atmosphere, rather, of recovery in our meetings and participate in the countless incognito efforts that make this thing work. We arrive at meetings early to welcome each new face or stay late to clean up and put away chairs. Each of these actions expresses our gratitude. We bring this mindset with us into the world outside NA. We recognize our capacity to help others and know that it feels good to do good. We get some freedom from self obsession and the opportunity to practice loving kindness in our affairs. We gain a sense of fulfillment as we engage in acts of service inside and outside Narcotics Anonymous. I will express love and gratitude by serving the greater good. Take a moment of silence now, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. So, we're talking about service being an expression of love and gratitude. And we benefited from the service of others, right? Um, if we've been here for any amount of time, we may not want to acknowledge it, but it's the truth. The service of other individuals is what made Narcotics Anonymous available to us. Someone had to set up the meeting, someone had to schedule the meeting, someone had to print the meeting sheet, right? For the whatever area you're in so that you would know where the meetings even were. Someone had to create the website and load it up. That takes time. I'm a person that loves graphics and design, and I'm just saying it takes time to create all of that. Someone had to do it, and that was a form of service work, and more than likely Whoever did it didn't get paid. They just did it because they were good at it or willing to learn how to do it. Someone gets to the meeting ahead of, you know how hard it is it's hard enough to schedule getting to a meeting, but to schedule to get to a meeting early enough to set it up. The majority of us, we get to the meeting when we get to the meeting and we enjoy it and we take off. But what about the cleanup? What about shutting the meeting place down and making sure that it's appropriate and clean and ready for the next organization or the next, meeting, the next event, whatever they're doing in that meeting place, making sure it's better better when we left it than when we found it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's service work. That's learning how to let our gratitude speak. And not so much when we share, but when we care, the NA way, right? We care enough about this process being available to other people that we're willing to take care of whatever it is that helps the process be better. For many of us, it's having a meeting place with bathrooms that people can actually use, with tissue in them, with soap in them, and a system to make sure that someone's not hogging the bathroom, coming into a meeting and getting high in the bathroom. There's a system in place to make sure that doesn't happen, that the people aren't triggered. That's all service work. Setting up the meeting, making sure the readings are out, passing the basket, counting it properly, and turning it in, right? Or saving it until whatever your system that you've established with your group is to count it with the treasurer. It takes service work for that. It didn't just happen by osmosis. And when the point they use in here says, uh, we contribute to the lively, and I'm in the third paragraph. We contribute to the lively and loving atmosphere of recovery in our meetings and participate in the countless incognito efforts that make this thing work. Countless incognito, meaning you don't see it. You do not see it, but you benefit from it. And there's no denying of that. We all benefit from it. It's a way for us to express love and gratitude by serving the greater good, helping with our primary purpose, right? I appreciate our last reading because it says that a lot of times our first real introduction to being a productive member of society is through service work. My service work in Narcotics Anonymous helped me to get to the point where I could be of service at my job, where I could actually show up on time and make sure I didn't take none of those people's stuff. I had one incident I'll share with you. And by this time I had some clean time, but not a lot. Not a lot. And there's this person that was a real big speaker. And he and I had become friends. Because of course I'm married, right? So he and I had become friends. And I would talk to this person on my job for hours. And my production, right? I was a collector for a drug company of all things. My production went downhill and they began to notice that my phone call log always had um phone calls that would come into me on our 1-800 line from the same place, from his job. And it would always be a lengthy conversation, at least an hour. at least an hour of me sitting there with a headset pretending that I was making my collection calls. And I got reeled into the office for that dishonest behavior. They said, "What would make you think that we wouldn't notice that?" I said, "I didn't think that. I didn't think anyone was paying attention to all these phone calls that we actually make." And she said, "Look at this. I hired you to make collection calls. I hired you to do the job that I hired you to do. And come to find out, you're spending at least an hour of your day just chit-chatting with your friend. And they're calling in on our 1-800 number. That costs money." I said, "I thought 1-800, I thought that meant the calls were free. I didn't think, long as I didn't dial out, I didn't think that there was a charge." She said, "Honey, there's always a charge. This has to stop now. You received a promotion. You sit with me every morning going over the Wall Street Journal. I need you to be an example. This is not acceptable. It has to stop now." And I told her, I said, "I am so sorry. Could you find out how much all of this costs? I'm very willing to pay this back to the company." She said, "This company has millions, billions of dollars. It's not a big deal in that sense. But you have to be mindful that everything costs and you're stealing time. I need that to stop." And I was like, whew, I felt so bad. And I began to learn that I needed to become a productive member in all my affairs, in every area of my life. I learned that the hard way, right? And I began to be of service in different areas. I began to be honest in different areas. Slowly but surely, I became the mighty stream you know today. And I love that gal. I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I want you to remember that even if you have 2 weeks clean, you can be of service. You can carry the message to the still suffering addict that just walked through the door. Go back over this meditation, guys. I want you to glean from it what you need, right? I don't mind sharing my experience, strength, and hope. You know, I'm here every day. You see that. I don't mind sharing my experience, strength, and hope. But at some point in time, when you walk away from the meditation, and some of you just listen to my reading and you don't listen to me share, that's fine. I'm not bothered by that. I'm not making money off of this. I wish that I could. I wish there was some way I could actually, make some money and with merchandise or something like that. I wish that I could, right? I don't have the energy nor the time right now for that. Um, so the point being is that if you listen all the way through or you don't, I'm just really happy to do it. And I'm happy that you listen. But at some point in time, it has to go beyond you just listening in the morning or whenever you listen. You have to be about recovery in all of your affairs, applying spiritual principles. And the one that we're talking about today is service, being an expression of gratitude. How are you serving in Narcotics Anonymous? How are you a productive member of society? Yeah. What is your experience, strength, and hope? I'm going to have a beautiful day. I hope that you will have one too on purpose. We got to do it on purpose, guys. It's just not going to happen. Talk to you tomorrow.